We are live. Well, maybe it's thinking. Okay, I think we are live. Hello. I know there were a couple people waiting. We are live. We are live. We are live. Let me just check my channel. Everything is going okay. Yes, it looks like we are live. So come on in, say hello in the chat. Come on in, say hello in the chat. Today we are going to talk about part 2. Last week we went through one of how I made my first $1,000 as a course creator and coach. And today we're going to go through part 2, what happened next. And I'll give everybody a few moments to get on here. If you guys can just pop in the chat and just comment so that I can know that you can hear me, so that I'm not talking for an hour and nobody can hear me. So if you guys can just let me know in the chat, just say hello in the chat and let me know if you can hear me. That would be awesome. And then we will go ahead and get started. But I did verify, it looks like we were live. So yeah, just going to go ahead and wait. While we do, I'll talk a little bit about last week's video. I went into a little bit of detail about the 3 things that I did to make my first $1,000 online in the coaching space, in the courses space. We talked, oh my God, we talked about a lot of stuff. We talked about different pricing strategies in terms of, when somebody wants you to do something for them, that obviously is going to be the most expensive because, that's your time and you can't get that back and you're only allotted so much of it. Assuming you're going to wake up tomorrow, you got 24 hours today and 24 hours tomorrow. So that's what you have. And tomorrow isn't promised. So we talked about that. Oh my God, we talked about so much. What else did we talk about? I didn't plan to quit my job right away, but I wound up quitting it. And I had actually made money online before. Today, I want to go through what happened next because it really surprised me. And the fact is, I actually made more than that $1,000. I know some people are here. Can you guys just say hello in the comments so that I know that you're here? Oh my God, that all just kind of ran together. So I know that you're here and that you can hear me okay. I want to make sure that you can hear me and I'm not just talking out loud to myself. The fact is I actually made more than $1,000 with that first product. And I'll just roll right into what happened next. Okay. So it was middle of July. I wound up quitting my job. I had the webinar like 2 weeks before that and was sitting on at that point probably about $8,000, and then more rolled in over the next few weeks for that course, and it just grew and grew. And not all of the money was because of that course in particular, but people were starting to hire me and wanting me to do things like create websites and things like that. So I wound up making a good almost pretty close to $10,000 after that first quote unquote launch. And so then I was still in network marketing at the time. And, that company had a reputation of, really being cautious of people doing things outside of the company. And so I would try to be very respectful of that and not, go really boisterous with it on my Facebook timeline. Not that I had anything to hide because hello, 27 years of sales and marketing experience, as we talked about in the last video. And so we launched the end of August and there were people still wanting to buy, and it created nice income stream too, because some of them went on payment plan. Okay. And so we did the 4 weeks. I showed up every week and went live and we created the course, and there were nights where I like pulled all-nighters, and just the course wound up being so much more than what I intended it to be. And I was okay with that. And so that course continued to sell. But what I did, very similar to Influence Booster, is I did a part 2. Influence Booster was just running the same thing every month for several months. This was like a part 2, a more advanced version. So that wound up being a little bit of a smaller group because I think the first group got a little bit overwhelmed with everything that was in there. And, and people were seeing me online. I kept showing up online. I didn't show up online as much as I should after a certain point. And by the end of September, I was pretty beat. right? So October, I showed up a little bit. I didn't show up as much as I should. And so by middle of October, my calendar had been pretty full. People were requesting my time. So I would do an appointment. I'd say, okay, let's get you on my calendar. And then, whatever their questions was, whatever their concerns was, if it was something I could help them with, I would tell them, this is my pricing, or this is the course, or this is what we should do, or these are your options. Just very similar to what I do. I had one of those appointments this morning, and people were paying me for things. And there were literally days when I would say, okay, my goal today is, and it really wasn't even a high amount, y'all. Okay, so my initial goal was I wanted to do like between 250 to 297 a day, and I might have one appointment at 10 o'clock in the morning and make that 297. And then it was like, oh, okay, I could technically go back to bed if I wanted to. And so there were some days that I did that. And this is what I think may shock you. I actually became depressed because it was just weird to me that, one, I was making money and it was so easy that there was not a lot of struggle involved, that I felt kind of lied and betrayed, because all my life I had been taught that you have to work hard. And me as a Black woman in particular, that I had to work 2 and 3 times as hard as everybody else. And it was like, I have not worked a job that gave me I earned $10,000 that easy, and I didn't have to wait and go through a whole bunch of hoops and hear how horrible I was as an employee, and that I should be grateful basically for the bonus. It just really kind of messed with my psyche. And for a little bit, plus it was getting to be winter, and I was spending a lot of time alone if I wasn't, in Zooms or in, Google Hangouts with clients or on the phone with them. And I got depressed, and it was just like, wow, it was that easy, huh? And how is money making me depressed? So that's the first thing. Okay. If you are going to be working from home, it's not about making money. It's about the freedom. Okay. It's about whatever you want it to be. Maybe you need to take care of someone in your family who's sick. It needs to be more than about money, because the money is not going to make you happy. Now, I'm not against money, because money is what you need in order to do a lot of things. Like, it's pretty much like oxygen. Like, you need oxygen to live, you need money to live. So, it took a while for me to pull out of that. And what honestly pulled me out of it is, now we're rolling into January and February. By February, I'm headed back to another event for the company that I was partnered with. And all of a sudden in January, my phone is just blowing up. My inbox is blowing up of people who've seen me online and they want to join my network marketing opportunity. So my team really had explosive growth. And this is like the winter of 2016 now. And now that year, I basically was the top recruiter in my area. They didn't want to give it to me because it was mostly done online and not dragging people to hotel meetings that they didn't want to attend. And that's okay. I didn't care, as long as I knew I wound up being one of the top recruiters that year. So remember what I said, they were very cautious about people making money and doing coaching in that. But it's like, I'm not trying to lead people to some other company. I'm not trying to teach people anything that's going to get them put in jail or do anything wrong. Marketing is what I know. And I spent additional time learning deeply the internet marketing piece, being mentored, and invested heavily in that. And so it's like, I feel I have the right to do this. So what I did was, it was really more so on a need to know basis. The people who wanted me, somehow they would find me and they would say, hey, do you do coaching? And I would say, yeah, as long as they approached me and I wasn't approaching them. And so that's what happened. Like, my coaching and courses and that kind of just went on, I won't say the back burner. It was more of a silent business. I didn't promote it. I didn't put it out there. And yet I still had clients. One lady paid me like, $300 a month for lots and lots of months, just to basically, help her with things like affiliate marketing and YouTube marketing. And I had, enough clients, and people were reaching out to me about that original course that I created. And the feedback that I had gotten from people who went through that original group was, they thought it was great, but it was really, I don't know, over their head. I don't think it was necessarily over their head. I think a lot of people didn't realize just how much work it would be. And that was also part of the depression because I really wanted to help people. I really wanted them to be able to duplicate what I had done, and seeing so few people do that. And I had to just learn and come to terms with that's just a part of being a course creator. That's just a part of coaching. It just is what it is. Not everybody is going to take the information and do something with it. You hope in your heart and you give them your best, and that's all you can pray for. And so, like I said, the coaching and the courses was on the kind of on the down low. If you knew, and I still don't know how these people were finding me or knew that I was doing coaching, but they would find out and they would ask me. So because of that initial feedback on that course, and I can't even remember what I called it. All I know is now it's the avatar course, because the first week we really spent on figuring out who it is that you serve. And since that's the part that helped people the most, I pulled that out of the content and made it its own course. So that's the second thing. What you start with is going to lead you to where you need to be. Okay. So I added in all this stuff about Facebook ads and all this technical stuff about setting up funnels and that. And my market just was not there. They just weren't there. So I had to meet them where they're at, and I had to adjust by pulling that out. And I still could charge, up to $297 in some cases for that course, because that's just how valuable it was. And, and when I thought of my own success, that's what really got me there, was really figuring out who it is that I served and honing in that communication and speaking as if I were speaking to one person. And by the way, Avatar was sold as an upsell to Influence Booster last year, and it increased the ticket cost of Influence Booster last year, and it still sells to this day. I did it for Black Friday in 2018, and people still buy that course. It is still one of the top courses that I sell, but it was created in the late summer of 2015. And that's the third thing I want you to understand, is that the product, and we talked a lot about this last week, the product was created each week. Okay. The product was created each week. And in the end, with everything that's going on with sales taxation and that is how I prefer to do courses, is to make it where there is a live component and you show up each week or twice a month or once a month or whatever for the training versus doing the pre-packaging and all of the production. Now, I know we always talk about getting outside of your comfort zone, and I'm huge on that, but trust me, I do a lot of getting outside of my comfort zone, that when it comes to the course creation, I figured out that that's what works for me. And so that's what I'm going to stick with, is continuing to create the course as we go along. Now, that doesn't mean that it's going to be a crap course, because no, Tamira don't put out crap. Right? It just means that I have an outline, and it's just, I like to show up and do it in the moment. And I feel like I give my best that way, versus sitting behind a computer and recording and not getting that immediate feedback. And I think that is what allows the product to make even greater sales after you've completed that live component, where people now are, gotten that real life feedback. And so now you're putting out a much better product versus constantly, re-recording things. And so, then we added in workbooks and PDFs and all this great stuff. I mean, it was so much. And then from there, I did part 2. And then there was video marketing. I did video marketing in February. I did a Twitter webinar in January, right? And so I did all of those things that year. And then once I started focusing on my team, I kind of stopped doing those things, but people were still coming to me for coaching. And by this time, my coaching, it got up to 147 per week with a commitment of 12 sessions. Right. And I would let them, pay for 2 or 3 at a time. And then they had to keep paying ahead, to make the payment beforehand. And so now my coaching is pretty much $297 a session, and it's more done with you services versus back then it was, kind of literally just coaching. This is what you do. This is what you do. And I found that people weren't doing the work. So I changed my model and upped my pricing to make sure I'm working with the right people. And it's now 297, and I'm pretty comfortable with leaving it at that for a little while. And then eventually it's going to go up, because that's just how it is. As more people want to work with you, you guys are coming in, please chat with me, say hi. More people want to work with you, and it becomes a matter of your time again. And then the pricing goes up. But let's talk about the shocking factor of, like I said, making the money and seeing that it was that easy kind of depressed me, and it kind of impacted. I could have, after that initial $10,000, it leveled out, and it wasn't at $10,000 a month from that anymore, but it was a healthy amount. And it could have been more, but I really pulled back. I really kind of shrunk back, because I don't know why, it was just so uncomfortable to me that making money could literally be that easy. Okay. And it took me a while to recover from that. It took a while to really do the deep work internally, and I'm still constantly working on my money story all the time, right? I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments. What are some of the things you heard throughout your life that was part of your money story? Okay. So for me, a huge piece of my money story, I already told you, was that I grew up to believe. I saw my grandfather getting up before the crack of dawn to go build tractors. He's the one who told me that I should go get a college education, which I did, because, he would tell stories about working in the factory, building those tractors on the south side of Racine, Wisconsin for 30 some years. And if it was 90 degrees outside, it felt like 105 degrees, right? So he's the one who told me to not just get my high school education, because that's what his high school education got him, that I should go get, some form of higher education over and beyond a high school diploma. Okay. So there's two things there. One, I thought my bachelor's degree was going to help me lead to happily ever after, and we didn't. So that's why I'm sitting in this chair and talking to you right now. Two, that I really thought I had to work hard for money. And I did. I went into corporate America and worked hard, and they treated me like crap and didn't appreciate me. Okay. So we had that money story. And then we had my grandmother, whose whole thing was, she always thought my grandfather was cheap. And she always said things like, he just wants to always save money. And it's like, you can't take it with you. So between hearing that from her, and I started working at a very young age, like at 14, right? Actually, before that, I actually started babysitting for my aunt, who paid me a whole $30 a month if I was lucky to see any money, but at least I got out of the house, and, didn't have parental supervision and was with the kids. It wasn't even so much about being boys. It was just being away from my mom and out of the house, being yelled at all the time. So, I was at least happy with that freedom, but, a whole $30 a month if I got to see any of that, right? If I ever saw it. So, but then my first real job and, working at McDonald's and that, it got to the point where my mom is knocking on my bedroom door demanding money to help pay for this, or help, pay to get a car fixed, and wouldn't take me to work. I'm trying to figure out how to get to work, but I'm having to help pay for a car to get fixed. I'm not even 18, and having to help pay rent, but still being treated like a child. And so now, where I had been a very good spender, I'm no longer a good spender, because I would rather spend the money up and say I don't have it than to have to give the money and not have the freedom and be treated, really poorly and like a child. So all of these things played into my money story. And you've got to know that. You've got to figure out your money story. It's not just a matter of showing up. I wish it were that easy, okay? Because showing up and, building your audience, figuring out what product solves their problem and showing up, that's going to help you make the money, but it's not going to help you keep the money. And getting stuck in my money story stopped me from scaling the money for quite a while. And I'm being 100% transparent. I don't care who judges me or who has anything to say about it, because everybody has their money story. I remember 2015, there was this one guru who was blowing up at that time, was all over the internet. She went from welfare to $1 million. And, there were a whole lot of things said on a lot of different panels and podcasts. And I distinctly remember her saying she got depressed after her first launch, and she made 800 and some $1,000. She got depressed. And I remember thinking, like, girl, you crazy. There's no way I'm gonna be depressed with $800,000 in the bank. You crazy. You sound stupid, right? Well, I didn't actually say that because I do actually respect this person, but just to dramatize it and make it sound nice and good, right? But I didn't believe it. And then it happened. It happened. Okay. So you have to have your support system in place. And I think the biggest thing, because, even when you start like network marketing, they tell you you can expect some sort of depression that first year because no one believes in you. You're not getting support from the places that you expected it to. So it's very natural to kind of feel like you're alone. And this isn't even necessarily working from home. You can still be working a full-time job in building network marketing. You should be, right? We're going to talk a little bit about that today. And so they tell you to expect that, and that's why they want you going to those meetings and things like that to kind of keep you in the game, right? And I didn't get depression from that stuff. What I got it from was actually making the money, right? So, you know, you have to have your support system in place, and the biggest thing is to just keep taking action. That's the best thing that I've done since 2013, since I've been marketing myself and products online, is no matter how I felt, I showed up online in some way, shape, or form every single day since April 12th, 2013, on some platform, whether it be an image, a selfie, a quote, me going live, a video. I've shown up consistently every single day. Okay. And it's crazy because I see people that I consider mentors and that have come to me in the last year for me to help them with things like Instagram. They, bought different workshops and courses from me, and my eyes are like, what? This is crazy, right? And again, I'm transparent. It's not like I'm driving Lambos and making millions of dollars, but I'll tell you what, I haven't worked a job since I think it was July 30th of 2015, not a traditional job. And as long as I have breath and able bodiness and able mind, I'm not going to, because I know how to show up and serve. Okay. Show up, not show up. Notice I didn't say sell, show up and serve. Okay. And so my advice to you is, one, you need to figure out your money story, and you need to get working on your money story and your money blocks and your money obstacles right now, because you have them. That's why you're on this webinar. You have them. And also transparent, I don't have product. That's not my space to talk to you about fixing your money story. How can I help you fix yours when I'm still fixing mine, right? So, does that mean you should lose faith in me and my ability to coach you? Absolutely not. I mean, that's like, most therapists have a therapist. They have to, after dealing with their clients all day, every day, right? But you have to keep going, and you have to have that support system in place, and knowing that off top that you're going to, at some point, hit a money block. You're going to keep going through a vicious cycle. And then at some point you have to say, okay, stop, hashtag stop, pause, hashtag pause. Let's figure this out. So it's not like I make money and then I'm good. And then all of a sudden the money's gone. And now I got to go back out there and get to work again. Right. Because I see it. I see it with certain people. I'm like, oh, they're on a money run. They ran out of money. So now they're working again. Right. And and there's nothing wrong with that. That's completely fine. Honestly, that's what jobs do. Jobs pay you just enough to make sure you keep coming back. I'll say it again. Your job pays you just enough to make sure that you keep coming back. Okay. That's why you have to negotiate when you start the job, because their role is to get you for as little as possible and to squeeze every red cent out of you. So I have something here that I wanted to go through. Here it is. Okay, so let's talk about the formula to buy time to create success in work and in the work from home space. Okay, so Jim Rohn says it's important that you work your full-time job and then part-time on your fortune. So work full-time on your job and then part-time on your fortune. That's definitely one piece of advice that I have for you. When I initially started in April of 2013, I actually did not have the intention of not working a job. But things started going so well, I was kind of like, screw a job. I'm not even thinking about a job. I'm just going to roll with this. But by August, it was like, get a job. Get a job because your savings has come way down because you were spending a little too much this summer thinking, and whatever. I mean, that's just how business is, right? So you have to. Most people stop their full-time job way too soon. Okay. So you need to have some sort of job. In my case, and we talked about this last week, I took a position where I was severely underemployed, right? Because I figured they were going to underpay me anyway, underpaid and overworked. And I was tired of that. And so now I moved into a situation where it's like, okay, so now you're severely underpaid and they really want to overwork you. And no, I'm not having it. So after just about almost 2 years on the dot, it was like, okay, enough of that. I can't do this anymore. It's time for me to go. Okay. So you have to have that income because especially when you're in things like network marketing, you need that income to fund things like your auto ship and going to conventions and things like that, right? And I'm not here for or against network marketing. It just is what it is. And for your business, you still need to make investments in your business. You need to invest in web hosting, in autoresponder. You need to invest in getting your membership website built. And, you can pay for those things annually, or you can pay for them by the month. You need to continually be investing in your personal development. I paid for certifications and things like that, right? So you want to keep that full-time job and store up money for as long as you can, okay? And I don't know of a magic number because, like I said, I wound up quitting before I wanted to, but it was just in the interest of both parties. And honestly, once I quit and had that freedom, especially, once I began taking care of my grandson during the day, which was my whole why, and threw me into another tailspin because after I got that, it was kind of like, well, what's next? I don't know what to do. That's a whole nother video. But yeah, so you need that full-time income to pay for that stuff, right? So you want to do that. Now, the other thing that you can do to make money is sell other people's products, right? And so now I've got two income streams, for the purposes of this story. I had my coaching and my courses, and then I also had the network marketing income. Okay. So, and then one thing I have not talked about a whole lot is I also had, and I'm not going to say it's a whole lot, it was a whole lot of money because it wasn't, affiliate income, right? A lot of you don't realize that there are products and services that you're using within your business that when people come to you and they ask you, how do you do this? You should be sending them a referral or an affiliate link. Okay. Again, I'm not saying an affiliate program like MLSP, but like I'm an affiliate with Constant Contact. I use that with my clients. I'm also an affiliate of Entrepreneur. That's the autoresponder system I use for myself. I understand when a client needs to use one versus the other. Okay. I just became an affiliate with HostGator, who does the hosting for my website. They came to me, affiliate with Tailwind. So things that you are using, you can easily recommend them to other people. You can be proactive or you can be passive about it, right? You can be active or passive about it. You can actively promote it, hence my blog posts and my YouTube videos on Constant Contact. Or you can just, like this morning, it was passive. I had a consultation for coaching, and that was the recommendation, right? So let's talk about how this works, because it's going to apply to both network marketing as well as affiliate marketing, okay? And so you show up, you put your content out there to attract people to you, right? And so now they're saying, hey, Tamara, I'd really like to learn more about this. Okay, great. Here's the link for you to get on my calendar and say what you want to talk about. And it's going to be 15 minutes, 15 to 20 minutes. It is not free coaching. It is a discovery call for me to figure out how I can help them or what resources I can point them to. Resources is one of the top 5 pages that I recommend you have on your website. A resources page with your affiliate links, okay? Because people, and same with network marketing, there are going to be people who are attracted to you if you are doing things as I teach you in Influence Booster. They're going to be attracted to you, but they're happy where they're at. And that is fine. Love them where they're at. But now, how you can help them is either through coaching, courses, or affiliate links. And you may even be able to sell your MLM products to you. I should actually, oh my God, I could charge for this. But you got it for free, Boo. You got it for free, right? I did all of those. I had people who were in other MLMs who were my customer, right? Instead of moaning and groaning and being upset and unfriending them and blocking them because they didn't want to join me. Oh, you like where you're at? That's great. I love where I'm at. If anything changes, let me know. By the way, you want to buy some lipstick? Well, it didn't go quite that way. And often they would just want to buy it because they liked me and they wanted to support me, right? Or they may say, oh my God, I love your blog. How did you set that blog up? Okay, so here's what we do. I can either do it with you, and this is the price for me to do it with you, or here are the resources. And at one point, I had a blogging course. You can buy the blogging course, and people did. Imagine that, right? So people from network marketing, from other companies, are going to be attracted to you. But they may love where they're at, and that's okay. So it becomes a matter of how can you, I hate to say monetize that relationship, because not all of them did, but guess what? I still loved and supported them where they're at. And in some cases, I bought stuff from them too, okay? It's about being a good steward of the overall industry and the community, right? And so it became a matter of, okay, so all these people, and trust me, here's the thing, nobody else is talking about this stuff. Here's the thing, nobody else is talking about this. More of them than not are going to love where they're at. A few are going to want to actually jump ship and join you. Not all of them are going to want to jump ship and join you. And honestly, you don't want a bunch of them that are going to jump ship and join you, because guess what? Just as quickly as they jump that ship to join you, how quick are they going to jump your ship and jump over to the next ship? Think about that. Think about that, right? There are times when it's warranted, and that is fine. But I don't want a bunch of people who hop around, right? And I'm not even involved in network marketing anymore. I don't really have any intention of it. But you don't want people that are always constantly jumping. So how can you serve them? So that sounds better, and it is better, and it's the truth compared to monetizing the relationship. That serves a lot better. I see somebody threw up a like. If you guys are loving what I'm throwing down, go ahead and hit that like button and even share this video, right? So how can you serve them? You can serve them with your own products. You can serve them by coaching them, selling them your courses, and you can serve them with your resources list of affiliate links of products that you actually use and stand behind that will help them with their business. Now, I'm going to be transparent again. That's where some of y'all companies, and one in particular, they don't like that because they have what do they call that? What's the opposite of abundance? A lack mentality. And they don't want you helping other people be successful. But the God that I serve and my abundance mentality says, if I pour into that person, I'm going to get it back multiplied. And that's why I'm sitting here in front of you, able to have this discussion with you today. Everybody okay with that? Is there something wrong with the chat? Oh, it says unable. So you guys are probably even talking to me and I just can't see it. Sorry. I've been sitting here, why are you talking to me? And it's because the chat thing isn't working or whatever. I had a little bit of an internet connection issue when I first got on. So just to recap, and it's true for traditional business. It's true for coaching and consulting. It's true for affiliate marketing. It's true for network marketing. You are going to have a segment of people who are attracted to you, but have no interest, need, desire for your primary offer. And that's why you want to have a secondary offer. When it comes to affiliate marketing, if you are in network marketing, you need to know your company's compliance and rules and abide by them when it comes to coaching, as well as courses and affiliate marketing. That's why Tamira don't do a network marketing anymore. Okay. Because nobody's going to tell me and limit my streams of money. But that's for you to decide, for you and your business. I'm not here to persuade or dissuade you or speak negatively on any company. That's why there are no names being mentioned. And you could guess a million times and probably not know any of the company or people that I am actually referencing in this video. But I know from things I've experienced and things that I've also witnessed in the last 7 years, it's important that you know your company and you know your upline, because sometimes they get a little weird when you're doing things too. Sometimes, that's a whole different story, but I like to maintain a good relationship with everybody in the industry, so you know your specific situation. Okay, enough of the long-winded disclosure. So people are going to be attracted to you, but not necessarily interested in your primary offer. And that's when you want to have multiple ways. This is how I have lasted, y'all, without having to have a job since July of 2015. Okay. The other thing I did, and I don't talk enough about this, I really in 2014 smushed my expenses, really started to live below my means, because number one, I had to, and really even within my means, because I became so severely underemployed that I really smashed my expenses and my lifestyle. Okay. So you have to be willing to do that in order to get to what you want for a small period of time. I did it for so long. It's like, Tamira, buy a pair of pants. It's okay. You can buy a pair of pants, right? So that is the second thing. So the first thing is earn income. And these are not the only ways of making money, right? So the second thing is your own products. So that was me with the courses and coaching, as well as MLM. So that is actually, it should be MLM and affiliate. Both of those are other people's money, right? And then the third thing is your own products, right? Okay. And so your own products can actually be broken down into even more multiple flows of income, because one of the things I have not done yet, I mean, I wrote an ebook, but it's not like published on Amazon or anything where you get royalties. That's coming from me. I read Cash Flow by Robert Kiyosaki well over 10 years ago. And that's always been on my mind to create that for my family, because it's trademarked for like 70 some years. And so Tristan and even his kids and possibly grandkids could be getting checks from any books that I write while I am living now, and could be passed on, and they could still be getting that income. So your own products, because again, if you're showing up every day, you're going to find, and nobody else talks about this, especially if they're in the network marketing space. So I hope you guys don't go rat me out, because I've had people do that too, sit and they listen to everything and they ask questions, and then they go run to compliance and they twist the story all up, and they sound like I'm trying to sell people things that I know other people, I'm not even going to go there, but no, you got to make decisions. We're all adults here, right? So they're not always going to be interested in your primary offer, right? And if you are showing up and you are doing the things that I teach in Influence Booster, people are going to be drawn to you and want coaching from you. If you are doing your personal development each and every day and you go live and talk about those things, even if you don't talk about them, when people see the difference in how you're showing up, because you're gonna show up different if you're getting personal development poured into yourself every day. Remember, if you were on Wednesday's office hours inside of our private exclusive community, I talked about that. I spend several hours in the morning reading YouTube's podcasts, all personal development, before I even think about opening up my laptop. I'm in personal development. Why? Because that's where my inspiration comes from. I did a post on Instagram today, from a video of Grant Cardone's I watched yesterday, like, yeah, Grant. So rather than just being a suck up like so many people do, I invested the time to watch the video. I learned, I took notes, and then I took those notes and turned them into free content that's going to attract people to me. That's going to make people come to my Instagram, see that post, go over to my profile, click my links, read my captions, and keep coming back, right? And so that's the whole invest, learn, teach. I had notebooks of I mean, I've been an avid reader my entire life of personal and self-development books dating back to 1999 and 2000. The writing is now faded. I hate that because I could have turned all of that into content, but you know what? It still inspires and drives my content to this day. Things like body language, right? When I say things like 93% of communication is nonverbal, I'm not making that up. I read Body Language by Gordon Wainwright in 1999 and have read it several times since then. So that's where your content comes in. And when you are showing up and saying things like that and proving to people that you know what you're talking about and they're testing it and putting it to work, then what happens is people now become drawn to you. And I'm not selling you a coaching program to learn how to become a coach. That's not what I'm here doing. All I'm doing is telling my story. So if you go run back, make sure you put that in there. All I'm doing is telling my story. Okay. So I'd love to ask you guys, what questions do you have? But unfortunately, the chat isn't working. So here's what I want you to know. When you're live, there's a chat. Okay. When this video ends, I want you to go back over to the video and now in the comments, say what it is you were saying in the chat. Say what it is that you want me to know, your feedback and your questions. And I pay attention and I respond to every single comment. Your girl ain't that big that she's too good to get in her comments and actually, not only give the comment a like, but actually respond to the comment. I pride myself on that. So talk to me on the comments about what you've learned today. Next week, I'm going to come back with part 3, and I didn't write it down. I wrote it down, but it's upstairs. And I was like, oh yeah, that's what next week is going to be. And now we've talked so much that I can't remember what next week is going to be about. So while I hope that shows up in my head, I'm going to give you the 3 things that have allowed me to be free for the last 7 years now. It'll be 7 years. No, actually 5 years free, but making money online in business since 2013. Number 1 is I had earned income. So yeah, 7 years. I had to earn income for 2 of those years. Okay. And then I also was selling other people's products, both affiliate and network marketing. And let's go back to that affiliate real quick because I want you to understand this. If you think you can't afford your autoresponder, it's because you don't understand that other people could be paying for your autoresponder for you. Because there were months that I couldn't pay for things, but because I had recommended it to other people, they were now paying for my autoresponder. They were paying for my landing pages. Okay. So it should never be an excuse that you can't afford something that you need in your business, because it's simply a matter of taking that leap of faith. And a lot of them have a free trial. So you hustle your butt during that free trial. There was a service called 22 Social. I think I still get that service for free because it was on my resources page. I did a blog post and I had long stopped talking about it. But when I first got involved with it, it was some of my first webinars was teaching people how to use this 22 Social, right? And I wound up getting that free for many, many, many months. In fact, I think I still have it free and I'm not even using it anymore. So it's not even always that you get paid for them, but often it's going to pay for your service that you need for your business. So it should never be that you can't afford it. You take the free trial and then you start playing with it. You make videos and you teach it to other people. And now your service is free. Things other people don't tell you, but I'm telling you today. Okay. So that's the second one, is other people's products. And third is creating your own products. If you do those 3, you will be able to leave a job, a situation that you're not happy at, or at least you have choices, you have options. Okay. The average side hustle is $8,000 a year, $667 a month. That's more than most people are making actually in network marketing, right? The average side hustle. And I'm not poo-pooing on network marketing because you will learn a lot. in network marketing. It will make you better. If you're in it for nothing else but the personal development, keep doing it for the people, for the connections. Part of why I was involved for so long wasn't the money, it was the people and the connections. And then one day I was like, you know what? If they're your people, they're going to be your people, whether you're still involved or not. But you need to be free so that you can fulfill the purpose that God has for your life and touch as many people as possible with what has happened to you, with what's up here, what's in here, your experience, and share that with the world. And so that's why we're doing this series now next week. So part one, I kind of told the story of how I made the money, right? In this part, I told you what happened next about the depression. And the best cure for depression is action. Okay. It's that simple. The best cure for depression is action. The best cure is gratitude. So, gratitude and action, right? Gratitude's going to lead you to inspired action, right? So, that's the best cure for that. We talked about the 3 income flows you need. So, your earned income, you need to be selling other people's products, and that's either MLM and or affiliate products, and then creating your own products, your own services. Some people just get started. People like their content, so they start wanting them to make videos or banners for them. Charge $10. I know one girl who's been with me a long time. She does tarot card readings for $10. I'm like, girl, you need to be charging at least triple that, right? So your own products, because again, I'm going to beat it into your head. They're not all going to want to join your team. But you've got to make sure that the universe and the people out there following you and watching you know that you're open to more than just that one stream. Because I focused on that so hard for the first year that, while I was still talking about these other things, I would get mad. Like, nobody wants to do this. Nobody wants to do this. And then one day it's like, yeah, because they don't want that. They want what's up here. You need to start talking about that. And you need to start selling and packaging that. And I did. So what was next week? What would logically be next? I can't remember. I'll put it in the comments, but definitely meet me here again next Friday at 2 p.m. Okay? Meet me here next Friday, 2 p.m. You'll get an email. If you're not on my email list, go to tamirahamilton.com/engagement. Get my free gift to you on how to engage, because an engaged audience is a buying audience. And you'll get an email with what's ahead for next week, because I'm getting all congested and I just can't think. But it's logical, it's on paper, because it actually can end up being a 4 or 5 part series. But I know we're definitely doing 3 because I committed to that and I already have my outline. I'm just drawing a blank on it. So we'll be here next week at 2:00 for part 3 of this series. And I think that is, I don't know, I'm not even going to guess. I can't even remember, but it's logical and it makes sense because I tend to do that. So we'll be back for part 3 next week. I thank you all, and I look forward to seeing your comments. So if you're chatting, that'll be in the live chat section. When I close this video down, what I want you to do is go back to the link and actually go under the video in the comments and, kind of talk with me there and say, good things, hopefully, your feedback and what questions in that you have for me. And I will also check the chat script, but it's really important to get those comments as well. So thank you guys so much. And I will see you next week. I know I have plans for Marketing Monday. I can't remember what we're talking about, but again, get on my email list and you'll get the information. Alrighty. I'll talk to you later. Thanks for listening. Bye.